All right, lesson number 6. Now that we have the audio that we're going to be editing our video content with and syncing our video content with, we're going to go ahead and bring in camera angle 1 and learn how to synchronize that with the audio. Now, if you are doing virtual interviews like Zoom, sometimes the audio is actually already in the video file. So if you're a little bit confused, like why is there separate audio in this example, it's because the microphones that they're using is recording on a separate audio track, just like this one. So this microphone is going in to a H6 recorder, right? And it's going to be separate. So you're hearing this audio now, it had to be synchronized like you're about to see. But if you are recording off Zoom, you're not going to have to worry about that, and you can just completely skip that step. So let's get started with synchronizing camera angle 1 with the good audio that we just edited. Once your edited audio file has exported, you can locate it and simply drag it into your audio folder, into Premiere Pro, or you can of course drag it directly into your timeline. Now you will be able to compare again and listen to the raw audio file and the produced audio file. You can simply mute layer number 1, listen to layer number 2, the edited audio, vice versa. You can of course mute the produced audio and listen at any point in time to, that first standard audio that just came out of the mics. All right.
Without that high level of awareness or high level of understanding of yourself or having somebody to kind of guide you through it, that's a risky prospect. And there are training modalities out there. We've seen them. We mentioned CrossFit up front. A lot of power of the power inside their programming. And quite frankly, that's where we get the aftermath
I was
of that
just going to say, and what have we seen over the years with that? So,
well, it goes back. I mean, you mentioned like poor shoulder mechanics coupled with poor hip and
all right, so once you're happy and you've made those audio changes, we're going to move forward. I'm going to simply drag and drop the edited audio over that first audio file because I no longer need it. We have our produced audio that we're going to be creating our video clips with, that we're going to be creating our YouTube video with, that we're going to be using for this entire edit. So what we can do now is we can come back to our project and we can start by coming into our footage, okay? And we want to start with, again, the full body camera angle. So we can take the first full body camera angle and drag and drop it into our timeline. Now, it's important that we keep the audio from that first camera angle and put it on a separate layer, okay? What not to do would be to drag and drop our video file over our audio file. All right, now we no longer have this audio that's produced. It's green in this instance and the video is blue. All right, so just make sure that when dragging new clips, you're paying attention to the audio files. As you drag your first camera angle, you'll have one video file, or these V1, 2, 3. This is your video file above this line here. And then below you should have 2 audio files, all right, where you can see, there are all these A's that are highlighted, your video tracks and your audio tracks, all right? So once you do that, the first step is to synchronize camera angle 1, okay? How we can do that is you can go ahead and select the audio file as well as the video file and attached audio file from that first camera angle that you brought in. You're going to right click all of them and you want to come up and click on synchronize. All right. Now in this case, synchronize is you're not able to click on it. All right. And that's can happen for a few reasons, but they're nothing that's not fixable. All right. So if you follow all these steps, you should have no issues whatsoever with synchronizing your audio. So the first step is to click on the clips that you've selected. So here we're trying to sync V2 and we're syncing A1 and A2, right? So let's go ahead and try again. We're going to highlight everything. We're going to right click. And as you can see, we now have synchronize. All right. So I'm going to stop the synchronization errors there. If you guys do have trouble synchronizing, you can visit 8482media.com and just go ahead and click on the top right corner and search, synchronize or any problem that you guys might have. We have a ton of free resources and free tutorials that are go into far more depth on how to troubleshoot any of your specific questions. Here we have our synchronization settings, okay? We just want to make sure that we are selecting audio when we synchronize. If we select clip start, it's just going to synchronize the audio and the video files so that they all start when they all start. And that's not going to necessarily mean that they're synchronized, because you could have started camera angle 1 at a different time than camera angle 2, etc. So we want to make sure that we're synchronizing by the audio, all right? Now, if you didn't have any audio on the camera angles that you were recording, well, you learned the hard way. Next time, you're going to need to include audio on the camera angles as well as with the microphones, or there's no way to synchronize the camera angles inside Adobe Premiere Pro automatically. What you'll have to do is you'll have to visually look at all the camera angles and try to sync them up with, when one of the hosts or guests does some kind of action, when they smile, when they laugh, if they pick up, one of these cans off the table, for example. The second the frame of the can goes off the table, you need to locate that for all the other files. It's a really long, tedious process, but if you do have audio waves, Adobe Premiere Pro will synchronize everything for you. We're just going to go ahead making sure audio is selected. You can select your track channel to anything. We're going to select mix down and then press OK. Now, it's going to process, audio tracks 1 and 2 and find a synchronized timestamp where they're all lined up, all right? And that will line up your video footage as well. Now, if for some reason you do get an error, again, just refer to 8042media.com. There is a blog article that covers over 6 different ways to troubleshoot this if you run into that error. But we're going to move forward in this tutorial assuming that you're able to synchronize everything without any issues.